There's something about a city that never sleeps that makes it a perfect match for a spectacle like this. Because to get what you want here, you don't sleep either. Not when you want to go from unproven to unforgettable, from a name on a card to a name in lights. Tonight, they get set to go from restless phenoms to franchise cornerstones. In this singular city, this legendary auditorium, these storied halls, their football destiny awaits as the excitement builds. On this, a night where dreams become reality. The 2013 NFL Draft.
The Kansas City Chiefs. That is Clark Hunt. The pick is in, and you've got guys on walkie-talkies with a card letting know, again, who it is.
The suspense, Rich. I love the suspense.
And they're going to take the card to the stage, and the commissioner's going to choose the card of the prospect and go up and read it off.
It's been a long time since we've been excited for the commissioner to walk up and tell us who the first overall pick is.
And this is our 10th draft. Yeah. We've never had that.
I'm just saying.
Never had that.
This is, I feel the suspense.
So we have Actually, I'm taking a look. The Jacksonville Jaguars have been on the clock for 30 seconds.
He's not going to draft Leon Sandcastle, is he?
Here we go. The commissioner of the National Football League has the card. The Chiefs have been on the clock, and it is now time to get things started here with a name. As the commissioner comes out of his green room off the stage. Send him out, Chris Vassallo. Get him out there. Here he comes with a name.
First pick.
With the first pick in the 2013 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Eric Fisher, tackle, Central Michigan.
So talk about a first. First time in a long time that we didn't know who the first overall pick was going to be. And a first, it's a Central Michigan Chippewa, the school that sent Dick Enberg out into the world. Dan Meyerly.
That is amazing.
Now sends Eric Fisher to Kansas City as a first overall pick in the draft, Mike Mayock.
You know, Rich, when I put my top 100 out there a week or so ago, he was the first name on the list, which tells you how strongly I feel about him. He's a Pro Bowl left tackle. People wanted to question him going to the Senior Bowl. He's from a smaller school in the MAC. I put on the tape against Michigan State where he pitched a shutout, then against Iowa where he pitched a shutout, and I thought he had as good a week as anybody did in Mobile, and it kind of shut up all the critics and announced that he had arrived. So when you look at this kid, here he is at the Senior Bowl. That's Alex Okafor, probably a second-round pick from Texas. Watch him re-anchor and drive Okafor's butt back across the line of scrimmage. He's got a little nasty to him. His pass pro is easy. We're talking about 6'6", 306 pounds. Look at him take that inside arm and lock it out. Again, easy pass pro, run him by the quarterback. Easy pass pro, sit your butt down, good control. Goal line. Watch this on the second level. Keep your eye. He drives them into the end zone. How about, can he pull and locate? Yeah, he can. The only thing I've seen on this kid where I'd say he'd have to improve a little bit, and it's most tall tackles, He plays a little high sometimes, and a young tackle in the NFL is going to get punched in the face and bull rushed a couple times before he learns he's got to sit it down.
And Mike, that will come because the two games that you mentioned, Iowa and Michigan State, he was pretty good. His guy didn't touch the quarterback, but he'll get that kind of competition every day in practice. This guy not only is nasty, he's smart too. He's a mechanical engineering major over there, and he played basketball in high school over at Stony Creek in Rochester. That's where Scott Hansen's from, in Rochester. And this guy's an athlete. He was a captain of that team. Put some big weight on, and you know what? This guy's going to be a Pro Bowler because we know all about Joe Staley, and Joe Staley's a Pro Bowler for the Niners. This guy is ranked higher than Joe coming out of Central Michigan.
Only the fourth time since 2000, as you saw on your screen, a non-quarterback going first over. Welcome him to Prime Time, presented by Jeep. Prime?
Take me through your emotions, big fella.
I don't even know what's going on right now. This is so hard to process. The fact that I was the #1 pick in the NFL draft, it's a dream come true. Something I've been working for so long, and I'm standing here right now, and I just can't believe it yet.
But you said at the Senior Bowl, you expect to be the #1 pick.
I did. That was my goal, and the fact that just happened, I have to say I'm so proud of myself for going through this whole process. I've had so much support, so many people who have impacted my life. Have just been behind me the whole time.
From a small school like Central Michigan, what do you need to say to all the kids out there from small colleges that they can do it too?
Hey, we're a great conference in the MAC. We can hang with anybody. I've had so much support. Joe Staley, shout out. Thank you for all the help, man. And all my teammates back home watching. Thanks for pushing me, guys. Thank you.
#1 pick, baby. Proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Back to you guys, Rich.
All right, Eric Fisher starts. The first pick for David Caldwell's general managing regime is in Jacksonville, and one of the reasons why David Caldwell is there and Gene Smith is not is Justin Blackmon, Blaine Gabbert, Tyson Alualu, Eugene Monroe, and Derek Harvey really have not panned out, to say the least. The commissioner now with the latest Jacksonville Jaguar
turn right
pick.
here.
Big pick.
With the second pick in the 2013 NFL Draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Luke Joeckel, tackle,
So
Texas A&M.
Tackle. They go Luke Joeckel, who's on the phone right now with the Jaguars. Surprise you at all, Mike? Or no?
Not at all, and I applaud the move, as a matter of fact, because in my opinion, and we can argue about the quarterback here, but what I like is for the first time in a while the Jacksonville Jaguars have an identity on offense. They've got a left tackle by the name of Eugene Monroe, who's a top 10 tackle in the NFL. Now they're going to plug this kid on the right side. They've got bookend tackles, and for the first time, I feel like there's an infrastructure to support future growth. I like the pick, and I really like David Caldwell and Gus Bradley, the new head coach. I think there's some exciting things there.
And I love Jeff Fisher's there also. He's the new office coordinator who will come in and work with young Blaine Gabbert. He is great at working with quarterbacks. He was at the University of Miami. I got a chance to sit in that meeting room. So maybe they're saying, with Fisher, we'll give you a year or so to work with the young Blaine Gabbert while we put everything else together and give them an opportunity, and they go get the big title.
It's the first time in the Super Bowl era that tackles have gone 1-2 atop the NFL draft. It's the second straight year that the same position went 1-2 atop the NFL draft. Last year it was the quarterbacks, and now it's the tackles. Mike, what's so good about this young man?
How about 37 consecutive starts? And what I really admire about him is they don't slide their protection, meaning that both tackles are on an island every single game. You could see him pick up an X stunt there. Very easy movement skills. He hustles on the backside of zone. Here he is getting out on a screen pass. He's probably got the most hip snap in the run game for all the elite offensive tackles. He's intelligent. He's got a great work ethic. He's a plug-and-play starting tackle in this league for the next 8 to 10 years. He hustles down the field. He understands how to bend, and I really believe, again, I love the fact that they're going to try and give Gabbert a chance. Whether or not you agree with Gabbert, they're going to give this kid a chance to succeed. They assumed Sharif Floyd would go 3, and then they would hold the Lane Johnson card. Really good job by McKenzie and Dennis Allen manufacturing this trade.
Well, here comes the commissioner with the newest Miami Dolphin.
The Oakland Raiders have traded the third pick to the Miami Dolphins. With the third pick in the 2013 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Deion Jordan, defensive end, Oregon.
It wasn't for Lane Johnson. It's Deion Jordan, the Oregon Duck, whose former college coach is now on the clock in Philadelphia. He is now going to South Florida. They did not trade up to fill the Jake Long slot after all. They went ahead and got Deion Jordan.
Here's something for you. Do you think they can also get Brandon Albert? Miami, do you think they can go get Brandon Albert also?
And the trade for the Mike, this is all about going to get Tom Brady.
Oh yeah,
that's what this is about. Yeah. We gotta go get Tom Brady. Put pressure on Tom Brady.
They have to have a plan though for left tackle. And the other thing is this young man that's walking up here, Deion Jordan. I think he's got the potential to be the player that I compare him to, which is Jason Taylor, who ironically played for the Miami Dolphins. I also think he looks a little bit like an Aldon Smith.
Yep.
And if he puts on 20 pounds on that 6'7" frame, someday he might even be good as a DeMarcus Ware. He's got that kind of edge speed. And boy, was I wrong.
You know, I talked to his coach, Nick Aliotti, the other day, his defensive coordinator at Oregon, and he said this kid loves football. He loves to play. He loves to practice. He's fully committed right now to football. This guy has got everything that it takes, not only to rush the passer, but to drop in coverage at over 6'6". This guy, when he puts on a little muscle, he's going to be dynamite.
And to guys like that, he's played tight end before, so you'll watch and you'll see a guy like that come off the end, falls off, get an interception, take the ball to distance. Miami's looking for game changers in a football game to make plays like you talked about, Marshall, because you know on the other side you got guys like Tom Brady. This guy is a game changer.
Yeah, and on the edge right now they have Jared Odrick, who's not, he's more a defensive tackle than a defensive end, and Cameron Wake and Olivier Vernon from the University of Miami. They needed an edge presence. I believe there has to be another move coming to get a left tackle. That's the missing piece.
Mike, Deion Jordan is the guy that you don't have to scheme to get a sack. He gets you a sack.
Yeah.
And if you're going to compete against the New England Patriots 2 times a year, you have to be able to just beat a guy one-on-one and get a sack and not blitz Tom Brady. He's going to safety exactly.
Right.
You need this guy.
He does remind me of that Aldon Smith, like you mentioned, coming out of Missouri. Yep. Remember his rookie year with the Niners, a 3-4 outside linebacker. He gets 19 sacks, but you know what? He didn't even start.
He played every down. Right.
He didn't even play every down. This guy's they're gonna find a way to have this guy in the field most downs.
We really need to show the people at home what this guy looks like in a football uniform. He's breathtaking off the edge. Here he is, he's standing up here. At 6'7", he's only 240. He can flatten and bend. Here he is with his hand in the dirt. This is what you're going to see in the future. Hand in the dirt, nice handwork. Now watch him flatten to the quarterback. Uses the hands, gets to the quarterback. Remember, I believe he puts 20-plus pounds on over the next 2 years. Little spin move inside, explodes to the quarterback.
What's that motor like, Mike? What's that motor like?
Motor's excellent. As a matter of fact, at Oregon, they even put him out over the slot and had him disrupt the slot in pass coverage. The one thing is he had shoulder surgery. Look at that movement right there.
Wow.
He had shoulder surgery that's been fixed, and that's one of the reasons why he couldn't put the weight on.
On a full-time basis. But he can, right away, he's going to help you pass rush.
And real quick, let's go to the podium. The pick is in for the Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles select Lane Johnson, tackle, Oklahoma.
All right, so we thought that the number 3 pick, Charlie, sorry to interrupt you there, was going to be Lane Johnson. Instead, he goes 1 pick later for Andy Reid. They have, or for Chip Kelly, the new head coach at Philadelphia. They had a lot of injuries on that offensive line last year. So how does Lane Johnson fit in, assuming everybody's healthy?
Well, okay, Todd Harriman's was the right tackle, but he's also played guard. You could move him into guard, put Lane Johnson at right tackle, and all of a sudden now you've got better at right tackle, and you also got better at guard. You got Jason Peters at left tackle. Now, one of the things about Lane Johnson, You'd like him to be a little bit stronger, which he can. But in a zone blocking scheme, which is what they ran at Oregon to run the ball, and a lot of teams do, you need an athletic tackle that on the backside can cut, can get to the second level, block the linebacker, and you're really only blocking half a man because you're always zoning it, so you're blocking an outside shoulder with somebody coming up on your backside hip. So you're not going to you're not knocking people off the ball. You're blocking at edge and you're blocking low. So athletically, he can do that. And both tackles had age and injuries to a degree. You got better at offensive tackle. I'm not surprised Howie Roseman did this.
And not only that, when you look at his athleticism, I mean, I remember looking at him at the combine and just thinking to myself, boy, him and Terod Armstead, really one of amongst the faster guys I've ever seen at the offensive line. And so what that means to me is you get guys who can run up 40. You say, well, what does a 40 mean to an offensive lineman? That means he's very quick with his feet and he's light on it. So he can handle the pass rushers now in the NFC East. And they've got some guys like Ware who can come off the edge. And now all of a sudden, you couple them with all the injuries now, you at least know that you can secure one side of the ball with an athletic offensive lineman. You talked about the zone blocking scheme. I mean, to me, that's it. I mean, you secure what I call the holy trinity as far as drafting is you want to get you a premier tackle, and Lane Johnson is it.
Well, you talk about Lane Johnson, and this was an all-state quarterback in high school. Then he moves to the outside, plays a little tight end. Then they get him onto the defensive end, and then Bob Stoops says, you know what, we're going to put you at offensive tackle. How much does that factor in to what he's able to do? I mean, does it speak to his athleticism? Does it matter, Charlie, when you got to move in that small amount of space? How important is athleticism to the offensive line position? Young man that only started 9 games in his career at Brigham Young.
Okay, we have a special guest to announce Detroit's selection. Please welcome one of the greatest players in NFL history and the cover athlete of Madden NFL 25 as selected by you, the fans, Hall of Famer Barry Sanders.
I want to thank the 40 million strong that voted me on the cover of Madden NFL 25. It's a huge honor. With the 5th pick of the 2013 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Ezekiel Ansah, defensive end, BYU.
All right, so Barry Sanders, with just a valiant attempt. Ezekiel Ansah. I mean, he really went after it
he
there.
did, and he did a really good job with it.
You know what? I was looking for your approval here, Akbar. All right, so let's build on it. Coming out, an outside linebacker, a defensive end, 6'5.5", 270 pounds, and again, just 9 starts at BYU.
Well, I'll tell you what I like about Ezekiel Ansah is that, like we mentioned before, is that he's a pure pass rusher that he can do. I think where you can get in trouble with Ezekiel Ansah if you throw him out there as a linebacker too early, because you have to understand to play linebacker in the National Football League isn't just your athleticism and being able to get out in the coverage, understanding what the concepts are of different zone defense, understanding the routes and those types of things. Once you get into that kind of defense, you have to be a student of the game, not just an athlete of the game.
Charlie, I don't know if it's because I have perhaps the skinniest legs on any man on the face of the earth, but one thing I noticed on Ziggy Ansah is he has kind of skinny legs. He's sort of thin down low. Is that a concern at all?
Well, the positive is that helps you be a better pass rusher. The negative is if your thighs aren't real big, that's where your anchor ability comes in on the run. But if you've got good leverage and you play low, you can make up for some of that. Remember, he's going to be playing on an edge a lot of times and have the advantage of coming upfield. So I don't know that it'll make a big difference here. See, I don't think his thighs are really that bad there for a defensive end.